Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and when you're picking up these shenanigans. We welcome you again to this week's episode of the Athletics LLC. Hope everybody had a great week and your anxious anticipation of hearing what we had to say again. I'm gonna start right off with Clyde. You look very serious today.
No.
Okay.
The total opposite.
Okay.
If you said I am chilling, I'm in the big chair.
Well, that's what I mean. Usually you're sitting up ready for some shenanigans, and you're laid back like that. That means the shenanigans are going to be big. So let's prepare ourselves.
We brought the shenanigans with us. The pandas.
Yes, we did. Exactly, the panda's here, but the panda has disappeared all of a sudden. I don't know where he went.
I think he wanted us to see the panda.
Oh, okay. All right. Is everybody? Oh, and of course,
Island
where are you, Calico?
Oh my God.
Where are you?
Kaibo.
Okay. I messed it up on purpose, but then we have to flash the nice little background of yours, and
that is
showing off a little bit. Just
in my backyard. That's my backyard.
Well, that's no longer a subtle flex. That is a big flex right there. Okay.
Whenever y'all are ready, like I said, whenever y'all are ready.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm taking you up on that.
Come on down.
Don't even think about it. So last but not least, as you can all see, we have Mr. Panda himself with us this week, Mr. John Drummond. Welcome, Fat to Fine, Panda, and everything's in play tonight. So
I think I'm changing the conjunction from to and.
Okay. It's fat and fine now. Okay, there you go. I think there's a lot of us in this world that would appreciate that.
I'm just saying.
That is a subtle flex in itself.
Exactly.
Hey,
great start, brother.
You will love me as I am.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just keeping it a buck, man.
Exactly.
Man, chocolate chip cookies keep finding its way into my cabinet.
And if we're talking about bucks, it's probably $2 in most cases, right? So.
Oh gosh.
All right, so we're going to start this show tonight with Mr. Panda giving some Panda awards, some collegiate pandas and some worldwide pandas. So if you'd be so kind as to kick us off, and then we're going to let Mr. Drummond, Mr. Panda, join us for some conversation tonight. So, Panda away, sir.
Oh, is that me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, this has been one of the most unique and exciting years. And, I had to keep record because a lot of stuff just kept happening. And with all the things that have happened, there were some things that just kind of stuck out. So let's just talk about the NCAA because a whole lot happened there. A lot of upsets, a lot of great performances, But if I had to have some pandas and runner-ups, my panda at the NCAA of the year, and I had to really, really, put some thought into this, but two things happened that just, to me were they really stuck out. Kennedy Simon on the 4x4. I'm sorry. Yeah. There is absolutely nothing that I have seen this year at the NCAA level that remotely beats that. I mean, there's been some bad stuff, somebody false started, somebody didn't show up to the line, but how in the world you're running lanes
on your own track?
On your home track that you practice on every single day from August to May. You're in front of the largest Texas crowd at the NCAAs, and the world is watching all over the United States of America and twice somewhere in foreign countries. You coming down on the first leg, not switching lanes, not second or third leg, where you cut into lane 1. And you go from lane 4 to lane 7. How, Sway? How? Okay, I need some coaches. Coaches, help me out here. Because y'all saw what I saw.
We can't help you with that one, brother.
I just need to know if it's me and maybe the lane had some hash marks or some asterisks. Was there an asterisk hanging down? Was there an asteroid coming into the stadium?
This is what I will tell you. This
Please.
is what I was told. So she looks up. Tennessee is outside of them, right? So it's them and then it's us and then it's Tennessee. So she saw the Tennessee colors and ran towards them. That's what I was told.
So
because the Tennessee colors were similar to hers. I'm just don't kill the
They were
messenger.
both wearing white. Yes.
Don't kill the messenger.
Hey,
and actually, they weren't wearing white
at all.
Yeah, they were. They on semifinal day. They were.
They
wore the burnt orange on Saturday. So I take it back. They did. They were wearing white.
But I mean, the white and orange and the white and burnt orange ain't exactly.
Hey. Look, you asked me for an explanation, and I gave you the explanation. That's what happened. So she kind of blanked out and just went straight instead of turning, and that's all it was.
That's right there sounds better than I saw white and no, she blacked out. And when she opened her eyes, she was a lane 7 because that makes it make sense. I don't know anybody that runs straight in a 4x4 to pass off a baton. You don't pass the baton off straight. You pass the baton in a turn. Not to mention, not to mention, hey, not to mention, the hash marks are at the top of the track. So I could see if it was like a reverse handoff where, hey, these lines is all over the place. I'm confused. There was no other lines down there. But that's my Panda of the year for NCAAs because I just thought that was beautiful. And, you know, nobody probably would remember that, but they do now.
I was shocked that she didn't run over 4 people on the way doing it.
Well,
that's the other
part. Nobody got hurt.
Well, see, but she ran so well that they were out front.
Yeah.
The shocking thing was that she ran in between people to get. So she really was trying to get the baton to the Tennessee girl. She really was.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah. Did y'all really watch the race? Because her teammate did a 360. Because you know you facing in. She totally turned all the way around. Like, where are you going?
Right. And then they ended up because I think I want to say they were in 6 and we were in 7. They ended up in our lane.
Listen, you can't make this stuff up. This right here.
So you can.
I have a question. Since we were offered an answer, forget the colors. Do the teammates look the same?
Okay, we're done.
One had a ponytail. One had a ponytail.
Okay.
See, I pay attention, y'all. Y'all don't be paying attention. I pay attention. One of them had a ponytail.
I paid attention. Stop it.
One of them had a ponytail.
Next Panda, please. Next Panda.
One of them had a ponytail.
Get off of Kennedy Simon. What's your next Panda?
Now my runner up for the Panda for the NCAAs, and this was hard too. Britton Wilson's coach.
Oh boy.
He Panda of the year. Because he should not have had that girl out there running all them events thinking she was gonna win something. Especially when you got the University of Florida and the University of Texas out there, Arkansas. Listen, Arkansas, what is you thinking? He gets a Panda runner-up, if not Panda man of the year. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know who a coach is. I'm just saying Britton Wilson's coach.
Whew. Look, that's how they do it in church.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The Panda is in full effect.
I thought he was gonna go with another 4x4.
No, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Because you know what? That was bad, but I gotta tell you, Britton Wilson coach is either, there's some people who have this crazy confidence, but they don't realize crazy is more than the confidence. And that's what I think happened. He had a crazy moment. We're going to be the first ever. That would have worked a decade ago.
And see if the meets are combined and the finals were on different days, it might have worked. Yeah.
Bruh, you have to change the freaking schedule for like Michael Johnson did in '96.
Well, see, here's the thing: the double's been done, and it's been done successfully, but it's been done when the meets were together. Ricky Harris did the double. No, wait a minute. Lashinda Demas did the double when you were in South Carolina, right? Chuck?
Yes.
I mean, Clyde.
She didn't win it though.
She didn't win though.
But she scored big in both of them.
Yeah, she did it.
That she did. Yeah.
She won the 400 hurdles and she was like third in the 400.
I think actually it was reverse. She won the 400 and Tiffany
Ross won the 400. Girl from Rice won the 400. I remember that.
Yeah, and
then she lost. Well, then she lost them both because Tiffany Ross won the 400 hurdles her freshman year.
What year was that?
Their freshman year, Tiffany Ross won the 400 hurdles.
What year was that?
03?
It was in Sacramento, right? The governor's doing a deep dive as we speak. So
but anyway, yeah, I think 03 was Sacramento.
Yeah. So back to the governor. No, that wasn't. It was in Baton Rouge. It was 2002.
Right. Okay. 2002.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Tiffany won the 400.
Right. So I'm gonna let the Panda continue while the governor does his deep dive into who won these events.
Now let's just keep it 100 on the NC. We're gonna leave NCAA alone. I don't want them kids have anxiety, but let's talk about world athletics. I don't think there's no bigger panda, and there were some pandas, boy. There were some pandas. Femke Bol falling on the track. Alexis Holmes being a hero to a zero. It's like,
oh my
God. Had some pandas, right? But Otto Bolden trying to chastise people on the TV because we was talking about Alexis Holmes on social media. Panda. But the panda of the year is Mark Jacobs. You can't be the Olympic champion and not show up at no championships. He's a super panda, if you ask me. And that outplays any other crazy performances because Yared Nuguse and Cole Hocker deserve panda with their performance at the World Championships. And so I got some, but
actually,
Mark Jacobs
I have a challenge to the 100-meter men's space for the
give it to me.
Since it was rumored
here we go,
that you were quite a prolific 100-meter runner in your time. Have you, if you were, you said the Olympic champion, which is true, if you were the world champion, and would you switch your blocks in between the rounds?
First of all, let me say that's on my list too. But I like Fred Curley, so I'm not going to really talk about him.
Okay, so now I'm going to put this out there that in Fred's defense, he switched his block because his leg was hurt, and he said he couldn't push off that leg. So don't shake shots at the messenger.
Hey, we all love Fred.
He had a quad injury or something, so that's why.
That's what I was told. Fred.
Right. Absolutely.
I think Fred's world championship was a clear indication of his entire training season. Because there was a whole lot of stuff he did this year that I was kind of shaking my head like, why are we doing this? But changing your blocks, I mean, thank you for the explanation, because in my mind, that's kind of what I thought. Like, he must be hurt, because there's no way in the world I would wait till the finals to switch.
Yep.
Unless I've been practicing this and I'm about to just slay y'all Negroes, But that wasn't the case. I don't really want to beat him up because, the 100 is just weird on the men's side.
Mm-hmm.
It's really freaking weird. And, the fact that Noah Lyles came in and won the 100, I'm telling you now, ain't no way in chicken grease I would have let a 200-meter runner come down and beat me in the 100. Okay. Now, if you ran 100 and walked up to the 200, Maurice Green and Tyson Gay and a few others who were 100-meter runners that went up and beat people, that's fine. But you known for the 200 and come down and whoop me in the 100, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that. I'm not even sleeping well. I'm like taking NyQuil or something.
But Fred was a known 400-meter runner that came down.
Yeah, but you know what? I got over that. I was totally shocked. You know, I'm over that part. You know, I used to run the 400 too. So I mean, I understand. He's like, yo, that's far. I ain't trying to do that. You know, and I'm still getting beat. You know, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And you know, he went down there and he owned it. He owned it. But I ain't talking about a 400-meter guy. I'm talking about a known 200-meter runner coming down to the 100 and whooping everybody. And I ain't mad at him. I like him. I think he's great for the sport. But all of them brothers who took second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, PANDA. If you was in the semifinals and he beat you, PANDA. I'm just saying. He pulling the muscle if he in my race. I'm telling you now. You ain't beating me, bruh. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I know y'all told me 4. That's my 4. I got more, but I'm gonna just go with those.
Okay. All right. So thank you for your very diligent work on the PANDA, sir. We greatly appreciate that. So let's get into some more controversy. So Michael Johnson was recently quoted as having an issue with the number of awards that the world World Athletics awarded. How do you feel about MJ's comments, and how do you feel about the awards themselves? So since you gave a PANDA, lead us off.
Here's my thing about Michael Johnson. Mike finds stuff to say sometimes to stay relevant.
Let the church say amen. Say it twice, a little louder for the people in the back.
And the reality is, I get what he's saying in the essence of, you know, why do we have to have so many? But here the thing is, our sport is not like football. Our sport is not like basketball. It's not like track. You know, yeah, there are different positions in football. There are different, you know, positions in basketball. However, their all goal is to get a football past the line. However, in track, you have different races that are grouped up to different people. You got sprinters, 100, 200, if you would say 400. Then you have the mid distance, the 800, 15, the 3,000, if that's a race. And then you have the distance people, the 10, 5, 10, and marathon, right? Then on the field side, you got a couple of guys throwing these big, heavy balls around. And then you got ladies throwing these big, heavy balls around. And then you got somebody throwing a ball with a chain. Then you got somebody throwing a frisbee. Then you got somebody throwing a
So we have variety.
We have varieties. You understand?
Okay.
So in that variety, now, if you want to minimize and say best in the world in the field, best in the world on the track, I'm cool with that. But you still have variety in both of those. So in my opinion, I think he was reaching to say, oh, it's too much, because the reality is our sport is extremely diverse.
Okay. Kaibo.
Oh boy. So obviously World Athletics was looking for a solution. Now, unbeknownst to the rest of the world, did we know that there was a problem? And on top of that, the timing and the idea that you could show up for an award show expecting there to be 1-1, and it turns out to be 3-3. Yeah, it would be a little shocking. You know, obviously Noah, you know, being the most prominent track and field athlete that we have right now, for him to go on the record standing there with his award, it's supposed to be a very happy day, a very, you know, fulfilling day. This is your award for your year's work, right? And he's standing there going, man, I wish there would have been more communication. I wish I would have known that I was going to get an award just for a track. And there were 2 other categories where there would be 2 other men standing there with me, right? So I understand what the whole point of it was, but obviously the execution was absolutely horrible. And I think that's where we're at right now. You know, yes, I agree. And as Panda said, our sport has many different facets, right? But how watered down is watered down? Like, how far down the road do you have to go before it's like, all right, everybody gets a medal, everybody gets an award, right?
Okay.
So,
Big League, what you got for us, darling?
I think of the same concepts. You know, there has to be a level of prestige and separation with awards, general blanket statement. Now, I do like the athlete of the year field, athlete of the year track. I get that separates some things in regards to the distances and whether it's vertical versus horizontal and things of that nature. And then the everlasting fight of where do the combined events fall. But just at a certain point, there are performances that stand out. And it just has to stand out more, right? And the converse, stop sucking, suck less. So for this type situation, minimal.
Not yet, Panda, not yet. Not yet.
But I think there is a time and a place to highlight other things. In regards to this specific award show, communication, I can't imagine, and obviously it didn't happen, where they didn't see the schedule, what's that called? Schedule of events, not schedule of events, but that's the only way I can think of it right now.
The program?
Something of shows.
Program.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Program.
But yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that one.
KOP, what you got?
Well, first of all, what I have is a complaint.
Oh boy.
Someone on this panel made a promise to the panel that the next time Michael Johnson got to running off at the mouth, that we could expect some hammers being thrown or something. Now, I feel like since that promise was made, there's been a few instances that would have warranted such commentary, and I ain't seen any results, so I'm complaining. However, could you repeat the question so I make sure I get it right?
Michael Johnson was recently quoted as having an issue with the number of awards that World Athletics presented. How do you feel about his comments, and how about the awards themselves?
Well, yeah, we covered the Michael Johnson part. I'm waiting on the clap back.
You won't have to wait long.
As a principal, I have a general problem with anything that feels like trophy culture. So, you know, it's one thing to find a bunch of different awards to pass out to children and make everybody feel good. I don't like it, but at some level, I almost understand it. I don't know why everybody needs a trophy at the professional level of athletics. I don't really get that. Athlete of the year is athlete of the year. Man and woman, yes. I understand that split. Track and then field, I mean, okay. But then weird people like these decathletes always going to start whining about shit. So, you know.
So you really feeling yourself tonight, aren't you?
And by the way,
your turn's coming, sir.
And by the way, for the record, they field. Put them in the field. But you know, so I guess I would prefer that it was just man, woman, athlete of the year. But you know, if we're gonna do the trophy culture thing, I guess I don't have a huge problem with, you know, track versus field split. Now, if you split it any more than that, Y'all just begging for entertainment and prizes now. I'm not. Is there any money attached to this? No. Well then,
No.
but
Okay. I'm not what? Zero warning sign? Is that what that says?
Training age.
Zero
Zero
training
training.
age.
Zero training. I got to start wearing my glasses. All right. So zero. What you got?
But zero warning signs is a good one. I might have to run with that one next week.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, let me address the sidebar nonsense from the light skinned wonder here. The reason you have not seen a clapback of Michael Johnson, because here's the unfortunate part, but fortunate for my life, I don't actually follow Michael Johnson, so I didn't know about I didn't know about the comments until yesterday. So I guess I will have to follow him so I can clap back in that particular form. But you best believe I'm going to clap back now. First of all, listen, everybody who ran with Michael understands that when Michael was running, he had certain rules and he was very standoffish and he didn't really want to engage with the fans and yada, yada, yada. Now that Michael is, the dude at the BBC, a whole nother issue, because he was the boss over Colin Jackson and now who is now the president of track and field for the UK, right? These people reported to him. So Michael has always had to seem like a big deal since he's been to BBC. He comes up with these things and these fights of, these imaginary fights that he needs to fight for no damn reason at all. Like, look.
He has a reason. He's getting paid. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so my question is this: how do you feel about his comments?
That's what I'm answering. Jesus Christ!
We've been waiting a long time for this.
I know. See, this is your fault.
I have a humongous issue with any set of awards that are watered down. In our sport, there should be clear lines of delineation. Indoor stuff should not count for outdoors. They're two different seasons. Field events are field events. Running events are running events. That's it, right? Just like they got an offensive player of the year and a decoy. That's it, right? But we don't need any other lines of delineation, right? I get not comparing, Ryan Krauser to Noah Lyles. I get how that is going to be subjective. But you can compare all the field eventers to each other and all the runners to each other, and that's it. Those are the only awards we need to give. Any other extra fluffy awards is literally exactly what Clyde said. It's trophy culture, and I rage against that machine all day and every day. If you don't like it, be better.
Okay. All right. So, thank you. Thank you, KOP, for doing what you do best and poking the bear. Right? Also, for the record, mouse receipts kept once again. Lashinda Demas won the 400 hurdles. And she was third in the 400. Allison Beckford won the 400.
Allison Beckford won the quarter, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the next topic, and we're gonna let Madam.
Hold on, my friend. Hold
on. Calm down.
I just want to make a comment on the NCAA. I mean the awards.
Okay.
If you don't mind,
briefly, please.
The NFL has 16 awards that they give out. The NCAA has 32, and they're named after people. So just to keep that in mind. We know about the Heisman, but they also give 31 other awards.
Sure, they do.
Okay. And we know about, athlete of the year or the MVP, but they also give 16 other awards. So I'm just saying.
Okay. Good job.
Everybody loves trophy culture.
But the NFL been around as long as the Olympics.
So speaking of trophies, the Bowerman was awarded to Mr. Hibbert and Miss Alfred last week. What are your thoughts on this year's winners, and do we agree with the choices? And I'm being, in an effort to start lightly, please, Big League, go first. Because it's about to get good after this. Because I'm not letting KOP no chance. No chance.
Kudos to those two who won, honestly.
Absolutely.
I don't think you can take that away from them. They did have spectacular performances. I think that keeping it in regards to their collegiate performances and not the outside performances I think it's very close between Jazz and Juju. And it just, I think it had to come down to the votes, and it obviously did for that. I'm going to say obviously because I'm going to assume they were very diplomatic in their process. So
Right.
I don't know that they can say it was wrong, or we can say that it was wrong. I just don't agree with it.
Okay, that's
So
fair. All right. KK, what you got?
Oh.
No, not KOP. KK.
I can easily see how they came to these two athletes as athlete of the year. And you know, obviously a lot of what goes into making these decisions has a lot to do with, well, does this athlete or does this performance pass the eye test? Does this performance give you that wow factor, right? And for both of these athletes, as explosive as they were, and for them to come in indoors and do what they did, come back outdoors and do what they did. We have been in this sport. We have all been in the sport long enough to understand that if there is a sprinter that is exceptional, there's a very good chance they're going to give it to the sprinter. It just is what it is. Now, as far as Hibbert is concerned, the fact that he was a freshman and came in and did what he did, I mean, unbelievable performances. And, did not lose all year and came out outdoors and won. And obviously, so I can easily see, how they made these decisions. And I expected that they were going to make those two decisions. And I'll leave it there.
Okay. Panda, you are chomping at the bit, sir. Have at it.
Here's my problem. And y'all can call it biased if you will. I just want to know, what does Jasmine Moore have to do short of breaking the world record to get? Last year it was, she didn't do this, and so she didn't even get a doggone nomination or whatever. And I'm like, how? You win, you keep winning. They go, this person was hurt and that person didn't compete. That's track. You get to the starting line healthy. That's what the frick we do.
Yeah.
What else do this girl got to do, man? She made the Olympic team twice. It's like, come on. She beat everybody all the freaking time. What else does she got to do? That's my feeling on the women's side. On the guy's side, I don't even know who the kid is, so it don't matter.
Love that. Absolutely love that.
Okay. All right, so KOP, I need you to do your thing because Zero has a lot to say about this, sir. Don't poke at him. Please do not poke at him.
Okay. I don't think I'm who knows?
Yeah, you're good.
Let me say this. And I may differ with some of my colleagues here. I love the boundary. I think it's one of the best ideas the Alphabet crew has ever come up with. It is always the best night of the convention. And I think it is a need for our sport at the collegiate level to recognize the best of the best the way the Heisman is meant to in football. Like the Heisman, they get a lot of things wrong, in my personal opinion. And I can't believe that Chewy tried to lie to the audience and say that he's sure that they are diplomatic in their choices, because that is some bullshit.
Trying to be nice.
Micah's watching.
Hey, Kai watching too. If Kai was here, he'd say, bullshit. Now, I will say this. On the men's side, and I know I'm going to get flamed by the next speaker, Jaden Hibbert was the only choice and the righteous choice. His utter domination of both seasons warrant said choice. The other two men, phenomenal, did not dominate both seasons. So this seemed like a very easy choice for the powers that be. Now, on the women's side, I get it. Juju had a historic season and rightfully, in my opinion, deserved the award. With the see, because the funny thing for me is I'm actually a fan of all of these athletes. Given the shenanigans that went on last year with who is and is not on the dais, and given the way that the season ended, Britain being up there kind of felt like, a shout out moment, right? Because you could make the argument that there are other people that could have been up there for that. But everybody knew that Juju was going to get that award. She broke the record. She won the NCAAs, and her team won the championship. Jasmine Moore leaving the NCAA with one appearance on the dais and no trophy feels like the second biggest robbery in Bowerman history to King Cheserek, who, if you're at the Bowerman Awards, they play him on a loop in the video feeds, even though he never won anything, which is wild to me. It almost feels like they're trying to rewrite some history there. So in the moment, I guess I could say I felt bad for Jasmine because somehow, some way, you couldn't have had a better career than she has had, and you couldn't have done more to win those awards than she did. We joke about bad birthdays and about bad timing. I'm calling last year complete nonsense, and this year you ran into Juju at the wrong moment.
Okay.
I would have been Kanye West walking up on that stage and been like,
No, that was last year, and I advocated for that, but nobody around here was trying to support me. I was gonna go up there with some people, but
I'm just saying.
Okay, so what do we got, Zero?
I think I'm probably going to be more succinct than most people think. On the men's side, it really come down to something really simple to me. I think the best performance was done by somebody who didn't have an undefeated indoor season. So at the end of the day, it's a seasonal award, and Justin Hibbert. I don't think there's any way.
Jaden.
There's no way Justin Hibbert. I'm thinking of Justin Herbert, the quarterback. Jaden Hibbert was never going to lose that award, and as much as Leo's performance, I don't know we'll ever see anything like that ever again on this planet. It was one great performance, right? It wasn't a great season, if we're going to be completely honest.
You'll see it again.
Okay.
So I only say that, I don't say that to be disrespectful, but people like to say that. We may never see that again, and then you see it again. It's athletics. There's going to be somebody. We might not see it in our lifetime, true, but it's going to be seen again. It's going to be seen.
But I want to focus my ire on the women's side, and I'm going to be quick, blunt, obvious, and I don't care. Jasmine Moore should have won last year for the same reasons that Jaden Hibbert won this year. She had a perfect season in 2 jumping events across indoors and outdoors. At the end of the day, you cannot possibly have a better season than that, and that's the end of it. She should have won last year. Her not winning last year and losing to a sprinter had to tell you her being on the dais this year was just trying to right that wrong, but there was no way they were going to give her the award rightfully or wrongfully, because she should have won it the year before. So I was 0% surprised. I was super disappointed, but I knew it was going to happen. And that's not a slight to Juju. Like, I think Juju probably had a better claim to the award this year than Abby did last year. No offense to Abby, but I don't know what else. To Panda's point, I'm not sure what else Jasmine could possibly have done.
There's nothing more she could
break the world record. That would probably be the only thing.
I'm not even sure that would have done it.
I am I have to tread lightly here, so I will, because she's one of mine. But like, if Jasmine was at another school last year, and now there's not going to be two Gators on the dais, might have been a different deal. But they weren't going to put two Gators up there. It was not going to happen. It wasn't.
That ain't your fault, but it is your fault.
So
But
yeah, so I'm gonna get a panda for that
too.
here in a minute. I feel it coming. So.
As true as you are probably right about that, right? Because there's a political aspect to all of this. As true as that is, shame on everybody involved for allowing that to be the reality. Right. If you have that much of an issue with it, do what we advocated for, which was, this is a special year. Put 4 of them up there, because last year 4 women were deserving of being on the dais. There were 4 women that broke collegiate records. Put them all up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going to do this again.
You could have added.
We're not.
You could have taken one of the dudes off last year and just kept the timeline.
I mean, you could have.
All right. So World Athletics recently changed qualifying in the distance events from place and time to strictly place. What are our thoughts on that? And would we like to see the sprint qualifying change to that? And KOP, sure, go ahead.
I love this change. It is a fantastic change.
Clyde, can you explain to the masses what the change is?
That's probably better articulated done by you. However, here is the reason I love it. Because it encourages racing. That's why I love it. The distance events are very, and I mean odd in the most respectful way possible. Like heat to heat, round to round, they vary so much. And we've seen so many examples over the years of people making very strategic choices for convenience in the moment. Damn all of that, make them race, right? And so it's gonna promote competition, and for that singular reason alone, I love it. It's also for that singular reason that I don't think you need such a thing in the sprints, because no one's like trying to chill for real like they do in the distances. However, I hate the sprint semifinals. We have beat that horse to death on this show, and I would very much like a world that we could return to, that the semifinal is 4 and 4.
We will have a show soon where you can
but I'm answering the question.
That.
I'm answering the question.
Answer the question. Stay off of that.
4 and 4, no time qualifiers, because the semifinal
you do not want to see the sprints go to this, is what you're saying.
Is trophy culture.
Okay. All right.
I'm a semifinalist. Nah, not really.
K King, let's go. What you got? Because this dude is he gets hot about these topics. Like we're sitting in the stands at the World Championships, and this dude is going off about this rule.
I hate it.
Tell me what you got.
This is the, in a lot of respects, this is the comedic side of track and field. And it's amazing that it's taken this long for World Athletics to sit back and watch, because it is comedy, right? Yes. How many times are we sitting there and the gun goes off and these athletes go into a trot, and you're sitting there going, all right, are you telling me that every single one of these athletes in this race are all sprinters and they're all going to sit and kick? And you're going, what am I missing here? Right? And it's like they all fall into the same trap, and we see it year after year after year. And it's the same people that get victimized over and over and over again, where they've had these amazing seasons. They get to Worlds, right? And they sit back because whoever the king is or whoever the queen is, well, we know we're not going to get her, but I got to give myself a chance, right? Now you've eliminated that. Now you have to be honest. Now you have to run your race. I am all for this. I am absolutely all for this. And, you know, we might end up in a situation where, just like, you know, as Clyde brought it up, we're seeing ridiculous stuff happening in the semis now, right? We're seeing ridiculous stuff happen in the qualifying rounds because you are running for your life, right? And it's about time that these distance athletes experience what happens in the sprint events, right?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
there is no chilling anymore,
No, you
right?
cannot.
So as a
Big Lee,
coach,
what? Okay.
you know, you are now preparing your athletes for 3 ball busting rounds. Like, you have to come with it. I'm all
Right.
for it.
Yeah. Big Lee, what are your thoughts?
I definitely agree on the distance side. It's now you're racing
Mm-hmm.
because that's just what it is. I think that you can do the same on the sprint side because it doesn't make a difference. Like, everyone's running anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, and it would be non-impactful, but yeah, more cutthroat.
0 training age?
I mean, the sprint world was better when it was like this, right? When we had 4 rounds and we had 2 semis and it was top 4 and top 4. I mean, the sprint world was better. I know we're never going back to 4 rounds, and I don't think you can go from 3 rounds to do this in the sprints. I just don't think you can do that with 3 semis. It's not really possible. But yeah, I mean, it's about time that the distances started to like actually participate in the same fashion as all the sprinters do, right?
Mm-hmm.
To feel the finality of qualifying.
Right.
I mean, because if you think about it, at least like that's the one of the few things that is the same with field events as it is with the sprint events, right? The finality of qualifying. I have seen people not make the final on second best jumps.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's how it goes, right? There is no like, you know, there's no like, oh, well, that flight was weak. Like, nope. You got to go do what you got to go do. And so like, it's about time that the heat draw wasn't like the big thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Like, we never care in any of the sprint events, like what heat you're in, as far as what number, who's in it matters for sure.
Yes.
But there was never advantage to being in you know, in the 100 and 200 being in heat 3 versus heat 1. There's a huge advantage in the 8 and the 15 and the 5K. There always was.
Yes.
So to finally get rid of that, I think is great.
Okay. Panda, what you got for us?
So I wrote a letter a couple years ago, and my suggestion to the IAAF / World Athletics was for the distance people, for the shorter distances, you have a time requirement, and if they didn't hit the time, you pull them off the track. And then for the longer distances, if you was in the back every lap, you get pulled off the track down to the last 3, and then they race for it. That was my suggestion. But I mean, if this is what they want to do, hey, it ain't my event. I don't care. And as far as the sprint goes, I did the 4 and 4, and I've been very influential in this sport. People don't really know, but I had a lot to do with the idea we getting down to 3, and they still have 4 rounds. Just the people who qualify ain't got to run it. So at the end of the day, you know, I had a lot to do with that decision. So it could go back to the 4 and 4 because I like that too. I did both, 96 and 2000. I did them both.
To be clear, correct me if I'm wrong about this. The current versions for the last couple cycles of the World Championship tracks or the Olympic tracks actually have 9 lanes, do they not?
They do.
So if we're gonna do the 3 heat semifinal, can't it just be 3, 3, and 3?
Works for me.
So the issue with lane 9
change...
in the 100 is the camera lane.
Well, no, they have
because Shakira just won the world championship.
She won it in lane 9.
Yeah.
Well, then that shouldn't be an issue at all.
It was an
but they don't use lane 1. They go 2
They
through
don't
9,
lose
correct?
lane 1. Yes, they use 2 through 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's
But
why.
they could use lane. They could use lane 1. Eugene just didn't use their lane 9. They used lane 1 through 8
Right.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'm advocating that the sprints be 3, 3, and 3.
on a 9-lane track.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, actually, that would make a ton of sense.
Right.
Personally.
So speaking of Eugene, it has been, some people have been quoted as saying, and here we go, the cathedral's coming. It's
I'm
coming.
gonna say be respectful. The cathedral.
Has been quoted as saying that the cathedral is the fastest track in the world. Do you guys? That the Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene.
The cathedral. That's what KOP calls it. The cathedral is the fastest track in the world.
Okay.
Do you guys agree with this? Or do you feel that there are other factors involved as to why people run faster, such as atmosphere, when the meets are held, etc.? What's your take on that? And KOP, I'm gonna save you till later because I know you got a lot to say about this. So, zero training age, what you got?
I will start this relay that I know is going to go relatively rapidly. Listen, I'm not saying the Oregon track isn't fast, but let's just be completely honest. There are about 5 times more meets with fast people in Eugene as there are anywhere else in the world. There's 1 meet with fast people held in Zurich. There is 2 meets with fast people held in London, right? But there's every single year, there's at least 2, and in some cases 4 races with really fast people in Eugene. Over a quadrennium, that is going to for sure jade the results. So at the end of the day, like, I think this is a narrative being pushed by my last week's name, Binen over Mondo. Mondo is a superior racing surface. It is.
But your name was Mondo over Biden last week.
I know. I was reversing for the point of this answer, right? At the end of the day, if I was a Biden rep and I put down the track in Eugene, I would for sure be beating everybody across the face with that factoid because it is unarguable numerically. Like the actual ocular proof is right here on a black and white sheet. The number of 100-meter times run under 10 is, I believe, a little bit more than double any other track surface in the world. So, sure. But I think the huge factor to all of that is literally the fact that NCAA's, Olympic trials, U.S. championships, and once every like 7 or 8 years, the Pac-12, we're all there.
Okay. Big Lee, what are your thoughts on this?
Similarly, not as long-winded. I think that it is.
Wow.
I'm just
Listen,
saying.
I don't need that.
I'm just saying.
Behave yourself.
Regardless if the track is fast or not, the people, the environment, and the stage that is set on that track is going to produce fast times. They're just going to run quick. So,
okay, Governor.
If they had USA Championships in Austin, Texas,
Oh my God, not this.
oh my goodness! All right, if they had USA Championships on the Gator track, come on, man, it's the people make the times. That's the way I see it, right?
Okay.
And the volume of it, and the larger the volume of people that run on the track, it's easy to say this is the fastest track in the world. But you cannot tell me that that's the fastest track in the world. Sorry, nope.
Okay. Panda, you ran fast on this track. I watched you do it. What you got?
I have a question.
Okay.
Has Usain Bolt ever ran on that track?
No.
Then we don't know if it's the fastest track in the world.
Okay.
I get it.
And the
we saw the fastest, second fastest 100-meter by a woman legal on that track.
Yes.
but Usain Bolt hasn't touched that track.
Right.
So I can't say it's the fastest track in the world. We've seen some wonderful performances from in fact, has he run on that track?
No.
The other guy, 1,900 meter guy, Asapa Powell. Has he run on? Has he ever touched it?
Yes, he's running pre.
Oh yeah, yes, he has. He's Nike.
Yes,
okay.
Nike.
Yeah.
So that's my answer. That track has produced great performances, but so has University of Texas, so has Indianapolis. I mean, we've seen some amazing on the track, on the field, performances around the country. We've seen exactly Sacramento.
Yeah.
There has been a consistency of great performances at NCs in Eugene, but I think that's because they go there a lot. And you acclimatize, if that's a word. So that's my response. I don't really know if it's the fastest in the world because Usain Bolt ain't touch it, and that's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, KOP, what you got?
I actually appreciate the Panda's sarcastic but important message there. Full disclosure, the Cathedral is my favorite venue.
We know.
However, I have always made fact-based arguments around my fandom of the Cathedral. I do not allow people to make nonsensical arguments, not rooted in science and fact, who hate on the Cathedral. So I'm not going to make a non-science-based argument to defend it in this space. There is no actual way to answer the question of which track is the fastest in the world. I do, because I'm petty, appreciate the just deep pettiness between Bynum and Mondo, and that is, trust me, on both sides.
Yes.
I appreciate it for all the, and I'm not shooting at the governor, but he triggered me. For all the, it's Austin, Texas people, dum-dums. It's the same surface as it is in Eugene.
Yes, absolutely.
I know you know that, but so
Yes.
many of your it's Austin people don't know that. And they sound dumb when they try to make that argument.
Right.
Now, there are some coaches out there in the world that are super nerdy, and I've seen them do these things. They have a ball bearing, and they'll go to different tracks around the world, and they'll drop said ball bearing from the same distance every time, in the same space every time, and they keep track of the bounce rate from track to track, and their opinions are formed on that. That's at least a little bit scientific for me. And I don't have those results, but I've seen them do it, and I know there's people that care enough to do those kind of things. So all I will say about Eugene is there's a whole bunch of meets there because it's the only world-class venue we have in this country. And they should be there. And they should continue to be there. But
so the old Eugene was the only world-class facility in the country?
No, and that's the beauty of this thing. Before the renovations, Oregon was no different than an Austin, Texas, or what Texas A&M has currently built down in their place, or what the Gators have. So before the renovations, I'm all for it, the rotations. But now there's one world-class venue in this country.
Oh no, we're not talking about rotations. We're just talking about
exactly
because the Cathedral, to your argument, has only been open for 3 years. Right?
Correct.
But this argument is based on not the Cathedral, but
the
Eugene.
venue. Yes.
No,
the venue
I understand.
itself.
I understand.
So
and the atmosphere.
zero training age.
Right. No, the atmosphere.
A very important point.
The atmosphere. We were all athletes. The atmosphere that the Eugene community feeds into that stadium is worth something. But I'm talking about the nuts and bolts of the surface. And my understanding is, and I could, if somebody has this, different, please correct me, but the specs of Eugene are as advantageous as legally allowed in the business.
They are now.
Right, they are now. That's what I'm saying. They couldn't be wider, all these things, right? So, I think it's up there, but I don't know how you would actually answer that question, so I'm not going to pretend there is an answer.
Right. I agree. I don't think there is an answer. I think that the best point made by the panel was by zero training age, and that there's just been an incredible volume of incredible athletes that have competed in Eugene on the old venue and in the new venue.
Yes.
So that's where, and obviously the Biden over Mondo argument is because Biden puts that out there, right? I think personally, I think the atmosphere in Eugene is incredible. And I do think that the community buys in, and they chill loud and proud for a little bit louder for Oregon and other people, but they still, they love track and field, So
here's just before you start, before we go.
Okay.
I took a look at the top 10 in the men and the women's 100. Okay. So when you combine the two top 10 times in history, you had three, like one woman and two men in Lausanne. Okay. You had two out of Doha. This is interesting. You had two from the Cathedral. One from Rieti, Indianapolis. Shanghai had two. So like you start looking at, there's some consistency there from the standpoint of those are some pretty fast tracks. Right. But there is no track that's like super dominating, like over anything else.
And
could the argument for that be that there's no dominance because we have probably been to that track more than any other track in the country?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, that's what zero
go ahead, training age, because I got something I really want to throw in here.
I mean, listen, I know I'm the semi-old guy, but I know for sure that two of the people in here and probably a third one are going to completely agree with me. There's only been one track that was ever invented to be fast. And then they immediately tore it up and made it into a baseball venue.
Yep.
Right? They put Mondo Super X with no structural layer, and then they put another layer of Mondo Super X on top of it in Atlanta. I promise you, if that track still existed, it would be the fastest track in the world.
And it wouldn't have survived 5 years.
And it wouldn't have survived 5 years, right? It was meant to run fast.
And you couldn't run on it very often because it destroyed your body.
Right.
It was meant to run fast as hell for about 2.5 months.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, every other track other than that, right? They're built that you actually have to also train and do other things on. So like they're going to be built somewhat similarly.
And Panda knows this. The other track that was like that was Tokyo in '91. They got rid of that thing real fast. It was gone. Like
so I know.
Okay, so KOP, make your point, and then we're going to move on.
It's more of just a nuanced story because we know these things, but people that watch our show may not fully understand this.
Yeah,
you have to understand the level of petty between the two elite companies that build these tracks.
Oh my God.
For example, Binen is responsible for the Oregon track and the Austin track, etc. They build tracks all over the globe. But because of the business relationship that Mondo has with World Athletics, when we had Oregon for the host of the World Championships on a Binen track, the entire complex said Mondo everywhere.
Everywhere.
Which is hilarious and petty. And it worked because half the people left there talking about how awesome the Mondo track was.
Right.
Yep.
But it wasn't.
Guerrilla marketing, man. Guerrilla marketing.
It's great. And on the flip side of that, Mondo will rightfully claim the fame that they are the builders of all the Olympic tracks because they're the best company.
Right.
To Zero Training Age's point, the fastest of the fastest people run at the Olympics. So of course you're gonna get the marks on these. You know what I mean? So it's all PR, and it's
all
really,
political.
really good. I'm from California. My school is in California. I'm a California kid. This goes down to the petty level, even in the local tracks here in California, because the California State meet, best in the nation, is on a binding track. But everybody knows that the fastest JUCO surface forever in California is Cerritos Mondo track.
Right.
Everybody knows Mondo track.
Everybody.
And so it's like, it's just really entertaining and petty, and I'm here for all of it. I actually love both companies, and when we get a track one day, as long as it's one of them two, I'm here for it.
All right. So as always, we're going to wrap up the show tonight with a question and answer session. And once again, the governor is your turn.
right.
And I will let you guys know that when I get to the last question, everybody answers the last question. Okay?
Okay.
So be prepared. So, Governor, what's your favorite TV show?
You're I don't watch TV. My favorite TV show, boy.
You watch TV in your life?
Not really.
Hey, zero training.
CSI.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite track announcer, both in the venue and on TV?
Oh man.
Why is this so funny?
Because least favorite would have been a better question.
Nope.
Definitely a more petty question.
Oh man. So in the booth,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Otto.
Okay.
And then in terms of in the venue, like doing on-air interviews, like post-race.
No. Like the person that's announcing the meet in the venue. Like,
Oh,
the
PA.
meet announcer.
PA announcer.
The PA guy, yeah.
okay.
And if you don't know their name, just say where you heard them at. That's all. Yeah, maybe you don't have a name for that.
Yeah, I love the Panda will know this. What's the French guy that did the Paris meet all those years?
Um,
Oh,
Jean-Claude.
Yes.
I can't think his last name.
Yes.
All right, Jean-Claude. Gotcha.
He'd do Monaco
your
too. He used to do Monaco too. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite music genre?
Genre?
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Okay. What was your favorite track to compete on?
Lausanne was my favorite.
Okay.
What's so fun is Zero Training Age?
I was joking in my head that you were going to say Tennessee.
Yeah. Who is your hero?
My mom.
Okay. What's a good spy code name for you?
Code name Jump Street.
Okay. What is your hidden talent?
People watching.
Only you. Only you. Okay. Finish this phrase. The way to my heart is
Cinnamon rolls. It came like yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't do it. Okay. Given the choice, would you rather travel into the past or into the future?
Ooh. I'd rather go into the future.
Okay. Now this is the last one, so everybody gets to answer this one. Which moment in life would you like a do-over of? Ooh,
Oh.
Governor, you're first.
1995 Gothenburg World Championships.
Okay. Zero training edge.
I won a fourth throw in the javelin in Sydney.
Mm. Mm.
Well, that's not a do-over.
I'll take any one of those throws over.
There
I know
you
I
go.
can throw further than 56-64.
Okay.
I
Big
can't
league.
wait to hear what Panda has to say.
Yeah, we're gonna say Panda for last.
Yeah.
Big league.
Not having surgery when I was in high school. Ankle surgery.
Okay. KOP. Do-over moment.
Oh. Got two,
You only
Okay.
get one.
but
only
but
get
they're
one.
not in the same realm.
You only get one.
Pick one.
Pick one.
If he's gonna force me to pick one, if I don't get the life one and the sport one, I'll stick to the sport one. I definitely should have stayed my ass out of the dunk contest for the team that I wasn't even on that
Wow.
blew out my ACL. But I did win.
Wow.
Let's be clear. I won.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, the Panda himself. Which moment in your life would you like a do-over of?
Wow. This is
It is.
deep.
I
For
think
me.
the first one came to mind.
What, not lay on the track?
Yep. Yep.
I'm saying, like, look, let's be honest. We all have way more than one. So I just picked the first one that
But
came to mind.
Panda, this is the thing. We were all there with you because I think everybody that saw that moment and witnessed that moment, we were introduced to a new rule. We were introduced to something that literally changed the event. Let's call it what it is, right?
We were all on your side, sir.
Huh?
100% Devin Allen wanted to do exactly what you did. 100%.
Yeah, so now we're gonna let the Panda answer the question, please.
Yes.
Now that you guys have all answered it for him.
Yeah, because see that was like the low hanging fruit. That was just the easy one.
Right.
Yeah.
That was and I knew you weren't going there. That's too easy for you.
I've had some moments
Right.
just in life, but in this track world, I've had some moments. And ask me the question one more time.
Do-over.
Which moment in life would you like a do-over of?
Do-over.
See, the word life changes it because I've had some life stuff happen too.
Right.
So it could be any area of your life.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of sitting here because on and off the track, I'm that dude, man. I don't think half the time. I just wake up and like, wow, that happened. I've had those kind of moments in my life. My wife is calling me right in the middle of this. Really? That's crazy. You know what? Since it's so easy, I would say I probably would go back to Paris and not only lay on the track, but I should have knocked some stuff over.
I kicked a water bottle.
So
I threw some water
you gonna
into
make
the
it work.
stands. I should have added
the full moment, huh?
Yeah, I should have added I should have did the Stone Cold Stunner on the side. Yeah, that's really what I really should have did. So
man.
All right. Well, we thank you, Panda, for being with us tonight. Always adding a nice little flavor to the conversation. I hope that everybody enjoyed this week's episode and shenanigans from the LLC crew, and hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you again in 7 days.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Good night.
Good night.